The false divinity. The vast emptiness of space stretched before the UES horizon, its hull gleaming under the light of a distant star as it completed its mission in the Cygnus arm. Humanity had ventured farther than ever before, mapping new star systems in humanity's endless quest for knowledge and resources. Captain Alina Reyes stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the holographic displays floating before her. At 42, she was one of Earth Fleet's most decorated officers, having earned her command through a combination of tactical brilliance and unwavering resolve. "Captain, we're detecting unusual energy patterns at coordinates 227 by 184, reported Lieutenant Commander Sato from the sensor station. His fingers danced across the haptic interface as he refined the scan. "It's big, really big." "Define big, Commander," Rise responded, moving to stand behind him. "Approximately 8 kilometers in length. It just appeared out of nowhere. No traditional warp signature." The main view screen shifted to display what appeared to be an enormous crystalline vessel, its surface composed of interlocking geometric patterns that pulsed with an inner light. Tendrils of energy coiled around its exterior like luminescent serpents. "Tactical assessment?" Rise asked, maintaining her composure despite the knot forming in her stomach. Commander Marcus Rhodes, her executive officer, consulted his display. "Energy readings off the charts, Captain. Nothing like we've ever encountered. Defense systems don't even have a baseline for comparison. Open hailing frequencies. First contact protocols." The bridge fell silent as they awaited a response. Suddenly, the main view screen flickered, and an alien visage appeared. The being had features that seemed almost humanoid, but its skin was translucent, revealing a network of pulsing light beneath. Its eyes were pools of swirling energy, and what appeared to be a crown of crystalline structures adorned its head. "I am Archon Valerius of the Luminary Ascendancy," the being announced in perfect English, its voice resonating with harmonic undertones. "Your presence has been noted, children of Earth." Reyes straightened. "This is Captain Alina Reyes of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We come in peace and seek peace." The alien's expression shifted to what might have been amusement. "You misunderstand your place in the cosmos, Captain. The Luminary do not negotiate with lesser beings. We guide. We rule. We have watched your civilization's infancy from afar, waiting until you reached the stars." Reyes felt a chill run down her spine. "With respect, Archon, humanity recognizes no rulers but those of our own choosing." The Archon's expression hardened. "Your species' arrogance is typical of the unenlightened. For eons, we have shepherded countless civilizations into the embrace of our divine wisdom. Those who resisted no longer exist." As if to emphasize the point, a tendril of energy lashed out from the luminary vessel, striking a nearby asteroid. The rock didn't explode. It simply ceased to exist, leaving not even dust in its wake. "A demonstration of divine will," the Archon continued. "Your world will receive our emissaries in 7 of your days. Prepare your leaders for ascension into our pantheon, or prepare your species for extinction." The communication ended abruptly, leaving the bridge in tense silence. "Set course for Earth, maximum speed," Reyes ordered. "And get me everything we have on that ship's energy signature. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with." Over the next 3 days, as the horizon raced toward Earth, the science and engineering teams worked around the clock analyzing the luminary vessel's capabilities. In the ship's main laboratory, Dr. Imani Okafor, the chief science officer, made a discovery that changed everything. "Captain, I've been analyzing the energy patterns from the luminary ship," she explained during an emergency briefing. "They're impressive, yes, but there's something inefficient about them." "Inefficient?" Rise asked. "Yes, they're channeling enormous power into what appear to be purely aesthetic displays. The light show, the dramatic disintegration effect. It's like they're deliberately making their technology seem more magical than it is." Lieutenant Zhang from engineering nodded in agreement. Their communication systems also reveal something interesting. They're broadcasting on frequencies that would be impossible for less advanced species to detect, but any civilization with FTL capability would pick up immediately. They're phishing, Rhodes realized. Targeting species advanced enough to be useful, but not advanced enough to pose a threat. Rise leaned forward. So the question becomes, are we advanced enough to challenge them? Dr. Okafor's expression turned thoughtful. Their energy modulation follows complex but ultimately predictable patterns. Given enough time and computational power, we might identify exploitable vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, the luminary vessel had positioned itself at the edge of the solar system, broadcasting continuous messages describing the benefits of submission to luminary rule. Earth governments convened emergency sessions as fear spread among populations worldwide. When the horizon arrived, Rise presented their findings to Earth Fleet Command. Admiral Kowalski looked grim during the virtual conference. The Security Council is divided, she informed Rise. Some nations are considering capitulation to avoid potential destruction. With respect, Admiral, submission now would mean the end of human independence forever, Rise argued. We've analyzed their technology. It's advanced, yes, but not unbeatable. I'm proposing Operation Daybreak. After intense debate, Earth Fleet Command approved the plan. The Horizon would rendezvous with 3 other advanced warships, the Defiant, the Resolute, and the Valiant, each carrying specialized equipment developed based on the Horizon's analysis. As the deadline approached, the luminary vessel moved closer to Earth, now accompanied by 3 smaller ships of similar design. Captain Rice addressed the combined crews of the 4 human vessels. The luminary have maintained their power through fear and illusion, she said. Their technology is advanced, but not divine. They've grown complacent, relying on the same tactics for millennia against less developed species. Today, humanity shows them they're not facing primitives anymore. The 4 Earth ships formed a defensive perimeter at the edge of Mars' orbit as the luminary fleet approached. The main view screen activated once more, showing Archon Valerius, his expression one of mild amusement. Your resistance vessels are noted, humans, he said. A noble but futile gesture. Submit now, and we shall be merciful in our divine judgment. Ray stood from her chair, facing the screen directly. Archon Valerius, humanity rejects your claim of divinity. We have studied your technology, your tactical patterns, and your history of subjugation. We offer you one chance to withdraw and recognize Earth as sovereign territory. The Archon's amusement vanished, replaced by cold fury. You dare threaten the divine. Your species requires a demonstration of true power. As the transmission ended, the massive luminary ships began to power their weapon systems, energy building along their crystalline hulls. All ships, execute Operation Daybreak, Rise ordered, her voice steady despite the knot of tension in her stomach. Let's show these false gods what human ingenuity can accomplish. Humanity ascendant. The space between Mars and Earth shimmered as the luminary fleet unleashed their weapons, streams of radiant energy that cut through the void, aimed directly at the human vessels. For a moment, it seemed as though the human ships would be obliterated instantly. Then something unexpected happened. The energy beams struck invisible barriers several kilometers in front of the Earth ships, dispersing into harmless particles that scattered across space like cosmic fireworks. On the bridge of the Horizon, Captain Rice allowed herself a small smile. Phase 1 complete, she announced. The deflector arrays are functioning perfectly. During the days of preparation, Earth scientists had deciphered the modulation patterns of luminary weapons and developed specialized shields calibrated to those exact frequencies. What the luminary saw as divine power, humans had reduced to a predictable physics problem. The Archon's face reappeared on the view screen, his expression now one of confusion and growing alarm. Impossible. No lesser species has ever withstood the divine wrath. We are not a lesser species, Archon, Rise replied calmly. and your divine wrath follows very predictable energy patterns. Enraged, the luminary vessels adjusted their weapons, pouring more power into their attacks. The shield arrays around the Earth ships strained but held. Phase 2. Rise ordered. From the 4 human warships, swarms of small drones deployed, each carrying specialized equipment. The drones accelerated toward the luminary vessels, evading the increasingly frantic energy blasts. Upon reaching their targets, they attached to the crystalline hulls and activated. "Quantum resonance disruptors online," reported Commander Rhodes, targeting their primary energy conduits. The drones began emitting precisely calibrated frequencies that interfered with the luminary ship's energy systems. The pulsing light patterns on their hulls stuttered and faltered. Their weapons fire became erratic, then ceased altogether. "Their shields are failing," Lieutenant Commander Seto announced. "The modulation patterns are breaking down." On the view screen, Archon Valerius's image flickered. "What have you done?" he demanded, genuine fear now visible in his expression. This is heresy. This is science, Archon," Rice corrected. "You've confused advanced technology with divinity for so long. You've forgotten the difference yourself." As the human fleet pressed its advantage, Dr. Okafor made another discovery. "Captain, I'm detecting organic life forms within the central chambers of each luminary ship. They're much smaller than we expected. The beings we've been communicating with appear to be artificial projections." "Put it on screen," Rise ordered. The view screen shifted to show thermal imaging of the luminary vessel's interior. Inside elaborate chambers at the center of each ship were clusters of small, frail-looking beings, their bodies connected to complex machinery. "They're using technology to project power they don't physically possess," Rhodes realized. "The entire divine image is a fabrication." Rise nodded. "Prepare boarding teams. Tactical units only, non-lethal measures where possible. I want to know exactly who we're dealing with." As human forces secured the disabled luminary vessels, the truth emerged. The luminary were physically fragile beings who had developed extraordinary technology to compensate for their biological limitations. Millennia ago, they had discovered that other species would worship rather than fight beings they perceived as godlike, and they had built their entire civilization around maintaining this illusion of divinity. In the command center of the primary luminary vessel, Captain Rice confronted the true form of Archon Valerius, a small gray-skinned being with oversized eyes and a delicate frame, now disconnected from the machinery that had projected his divine image. "For 50,000 years, we have ruled," the Archon said, his actual voice thin and reedy. "Countless civilizations have worshipped us, obeyed us, served us." "Because you never gave them a choice," Rise responded. "You used fear and illusion to subjugate them. It was necessary. Order must be maintained in the galaxy. Lesser species require guidance. What they require is respect and the freedom to determine their own destiny," Rise countered. "That's something humanity will never surrender." In the days that followed, Earth's governments established communication with the subjugated worlds of the luminary ascendancy. Many had believed for generations that the luminary were truly divine beings. The revelation of their true nature sparked revolutions across dozens of star systems. 1 month after the confrontation, representatives from Earth and 20 formerly subjugated species gathered for a historic summit. The luminary, stripped of their illusions of divinity, were forced to participate as equals for the first time in their history. "Today marks the beginning of a new era," Captain Rice addressed the assembly, having been chosen to represent humanity. "One built not on fear and subjugation, but on mutual respect and cooperation. No species, no matter how advanced their technology, has the right to claim divinity or rule over others." Archon Valerius, now simply Valerius, representative of the luminary, rose to speak. His diminutive form stood in stark contrast to the projected image he had once used. "For millennia, we believed our technological superiority gave us the right to guide the galaxy as we saw fit," he admitted. Humanity has taught us a humbling lesson. Perhaps there is wisdom in equality we have yet to learn. As the summit concluded with the signing of the Interstellar Concordat, a framework for peaceful relations among all participating species, Admiral Kowalski approached Reyes. "You know, a century ago we were still launching rockets with chemical propellants," she mused. "Now we've toppled gods and rewritten the political map of this sector of the galaxy." Reyes smiled. "They were never gods, Admiral. Just beings who forgot that technology without wisdom is a path to stagnation, not divinity." "And what about humanity? What's our path?" Reyes looked out at the assembly of diverse species, former enemies now cautiously working together, to explore, to learn, and to remember that power isn't the same as righteousness. The luminary forgot that distinction. We can't make the same mistake. As Captain Reyes returned to the horizon for its next mission, a message arrived from Earth Command. The ship was being reassigned to establish diplomatic relations with the outermost worlds of the former luminary ascendancy. "Set course for the Eridani system," she ordered, settling into her command chair. "Let's show the galaxy what humanity truly stands for." The Horizon's engines hummed to life as it prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed. Humanity had faced beings who claimed to be gods and proven them wrong. Now the real work began, building a future where no species would ever again mistake technology for divinity, and where humanity's place among the stars would be defined not by domination, but by determination, ingenuity, and an unwavering commitment to freedom. The stars beckoned, and humanity answered, not as conquerors or worshippers, but as explorers, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them with the same resourcefulness that had toppled false gods.